Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart. So this is a kit in 1/35 scale and it copies M3 in a mid-production version. Note that we get a version without interior, but this is quite interesting release because it's part of the Rio character series. So as you can see, it's a Sahara with crew and kit number is 35274. So we have a commercial sample here and it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So we are going to open it together with you and check what is actually supplied in this nice box and why it should be interesting for some modelers who would like to depict exactly what you see on the box art. And by the way, if you know who are those guys, feel free to write in the comment section. It will be quite interesting to see what you think. And as for the box size, because we have a tank model without interior, here is comparison with my hand. The overall, I would say, squarish size is the same, but the thickness is I would say a bit less than interior version. And here on the side you can see some safety advices, address of the manufacturer, and also some safety advices in several languages. Next, on the opposite side you will find two marking options, so we get the same marking option as on the box art, and here is another one in a classic green color, and I guess that's the same tank just from the different time period, let's say. So this is a top opening box, and here's what we have inside. So all frames are packed into the same plastic bag, as you can see. Even the small envelope with PE parts and decals are also here, but we are going to take them out and check everything closer. And as usual, plastic bag is sealed, so I will need a moment in order to open it, and then we will be checking each sprue one by one. And now you can see the assembly manual on the bottom of the box. So this is a typical, I would say, thing from Miniart. We'll talk about it a bit later, so I will move the whole box aside. And we will start with a tiny envelope, which is usually used by Miniart for the PE parts. And this kit is not an exclusion from this rule. So I have unpainted PE thread, so here it is. Maybe I'll place the sticker so that you don't forget which channel you're watching at the moment. So here we have unpainted PE thread, and you can notice that we have a lot of I would say metal parts, and some of them are really tiny. Here is comparison with my fingertip. Obviously you will have to use special tools because otherwise it will be really tricky to get something into the right spot, but other than that I do not see any possible issue here, so it's just a matter of careful installation. And definitely use all these parts because your model will only benefit from this, and you will get a bit, let's say, more fine features out of the box. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag. This one is dedicated to clear frame and also to decal sheet, so I need to cut through and we will check everything closer. So first I suggest to take a look at the decal sheet. Here it is. Just to remind you, we have two marking options and we will check the marking guides when we will be taking a look at the assembly manual, but you can see that printing quality is quite nice. We have a decal sheet from Decograph, so that's why you shouldn't be worried about any possible printing problems. It's just a matter of careful application on your model and you will be good to go. Of course, nobody stops you from trying to replicate these symbols with the white paint and thin brush. It will require some skills, but maybe some modelers will be, let's say, eager to do this. Next, we move to the plastic part. So here we start with a clear frame, which was packed together with decal sheet in a separate plastic bag, so it should arrive to you intact. And all plastic parts look perfect here. I do not see any possible issues. And just like any other Miniart set here, you won't get any masks for the clear parts, so be ready for that. And I would suggest to be ready with some special masking tape or maybe with liquid masks. I saw some modelers successfully using liquid masks with such stuff. Next, we move on to the gray plastic sprue. So here I place one of the biggest in the kit. So let's zoom out a bit. And here you can see that we have Hal Panels. These are quite thick armor panels, and of course this boxy, let's say, tank structure, tank hull, it should be assembled out of separate panels, so be sure to track the overall fitment so that you get the right alignment between these parts. And also here you can see also some custom marks, so if I will zoom in as much as I can and maybe flip over the part like this, you can notice that we have nice molded in custom marks. Here you can also take a look at some other parts, so we have also a nice I would say overall surface of these parts, so with some weathering it should look even better. So definitely don't be lazy, apply some weathering here because it will bring out all the external features which are molded in the plastic. Next we proceed with a special, let's say, plastic sprue, and quite, I would say, interesting thing is that we get this logo here on the sprue. So you can see these figures, they come from Masterbox, and here you can check the whole sprue. So these are the 4 tankmen we saw on the box art, so that's why they should be assembled in case you would like to replicate exactly the same picture as on the box art. And overall design is typical for 1/35 scale. In case you've seen our Masterbox kit reviews, this I would say style, this molding style, and I would say overall manufactured quality should be familiar to you. As you can see, we have separate legs, hands, one-piece torso, one-piece head, and there are no guiding elements whatsoever, even though poses are pre-shaped. So be careful while aligning all these parts together, because it will be necessary to get a more or less, I would say, realistic appearance of these figures. And that's why I usually recommend to pay attention to such simple thing which will have a drastic influence on the overall appearance. Here we continue with the next small plastic sprue. Maybe I'll open the lenses so that it will be brighter for you. So here we have parts or panels for storage boxes. We also have some Pioneer tools. And next we proceed with quite wide interconnection between sprues, but I won't be zooming out because it's better to show it closer. Maybe we'll even zoom in. So here we have machine guns, we also have some separate hatches for the turret, and here we have more minor parts with various hatches for the tank. So basically all hatches can be opened on your model, and that's a really cool feature in case you would like to use it for your diorama. And here on this sprue we have various armaments, so machine guns, and it's a really cool bonus, we get it out of the box, so I'm more than happy to see such thing included into the standard package, let's say. Next we proceed with the rear armor wall, so do not be confused with the separately molded doors. There is no interior, there is no engine included, so you will have to, let's say, find the engine if you would like to open these rear doors. Otherwise there will be just an emptiness inside, and that's not such a cool feature to display on your finished model. Next we proceed with the suspension ports. So as far as you can see, they are provided on 6 identical plastic frames, so I will show you only one because they carry absolutely the same parts, and such design is due to the overall, I would say, structure or construction of the suspension or drivetrain on this tank. You can see that we will have to build the separate drivetrain bogies, and I think it should be quite an easy process. The only thing required from you is to carefully glue all these parts together, and it might be tedious because you will have to do the same operation again and again, but that's something you cannot avoid with this tank, and also with Sherman, by the way. Here we continue with more armor panels. So again, pretty much the same molding styling, and of course we have internal details as well, because these parts, they come from the interior kit, so that's why we get some interior features out of the box. But again, I will repeat it, so you do not get interior included here. Next we proceed with more parts for storage boxes. So here they are. Note that this, I would say, outer shell is molded as a single piece part, which is really cool because it will save you some time and help avoid any unnecessary, let's say, issues with alignment. Next, I'm checking the track parts, because here we have basically 2 types of track parts, and I guess I will show you one sprue of each type so that you can see what I'm talking about. So here is the first one, and if I flip it over here, you can check the part from the opposite side. And next we have another one which will have to be connected with this one. So here you can see it. As you can see, it's a plane. I guess that's the outer side actually. And here you can see that inside we have guiding elements which will have to be combined with this thing. And this is a really good thing to have plastic track links out of the box. This is definitely better than a typical vinyl offering. So I'm more than happy to see such thing in a plastic kit. Next we continue with the turret part. So this one is molded as a single piece part. As you can see, again, nice custom surface. We have also some custom marks pre-molded, which is also quite cool thing. And of course we have all the hatches separate so you can open them, but I'm not sure why would you do this here. Maybe just to place some figures, who knows. Next we proceed with this plastic sprue. So here we have, I would say, some additional parts for the turret. So again, pretty much the same design, the same quality level. So it's just a matter of careful installation of these parts on the tank. Next, we proceed with some hull parts again. So they're provided on two identical plastic frames. I will show you only one because they carry the same set of parts, and they basically will be upgrading the lower hull section and also bringing some minor elements on the top hull. For example, here you can see fuel caps, and this is really a good thing that all these items are molded separately. They're not molded into the tank, and you can play with their configuration. Maybe you'll be opening some fuel caps, who knows. Next we have another nice bonus. So we have a separate sprue with various equipment for soldiers, for tankmen. As you can see, even helmets are included, and note that helmets are also detailed inside, in case you wonder. So that's a nice touch. And in my opinion, that's not something you see often in plastic kits. More of the equipment can be found on this small sprue. So here we have bags, pistols, and binoculars. And another equipment frame is here. So here we have various rifles. And definitely you don't have to use everything at once, so you'll get some spare parts which can be used in future builds. Here we have some Pioneer tools, so these ones I think they all go on the tank, so you won't be able to save some of them, but again it depends whether you would like to depict, let's say, empty clamps on the tanks, that some of the tools were lost somewhere, who knows. Next we proceed with the Hal Panels. So these are side armor panels. Again, we have separate doors or hatches, if you would like to call them like this, and that's a nice touch because even on the hatches we have separate windows, so you can basically open this one and then open the big one and expose the emptiness inside. So this is a handy feature for interior kit, but for this one, for today's version, you will have to think through how to use it. And next we proceed with the last gray plastic sprue. I won't be zooming out because here we have quite large parts which are interesting to check closer, because these are Hal panels, and as you can see they are relatively big, I would say. A lot of separate panels which will have to be aligned together, and there are some guiding elements, so it should be a relatively easy task, but still I would not recommend to hurry here because you can get the alignment wrong and then you'll have a funny time ahead of you, because fixing all this stuff, especially on M3 with its, I would say, special hull, it will be quite a tricky thing to do, and that's why you should keep it in mind. Next we have one more plastic bag with various small sprues. So I'm opening it right now because here we have, for example, drive sprockets, and we also have, so we get the assembly jig for the tracks, if I'm not wrong. Just give me a second. I need to take it out. Okay, so let's move this sprue aside. And here we continue with this assembly jig for the tracks. As you can see, it's a single piece part, but as far as I remember, that's something what was not included in M3 kit. Next, we proceed with the drive sprocket. So here it is. Also quite an easy thing to build because you just have to combine these two halves together. Note that attachment points are right underneath, and here you can check these parts from the opposite side. Next, we have exhaust parts here. Of course, they will be placed on the rear. Here you can check them from the inside. Again, guiding elements are present, so they will help you with alignment. Now we can zoom out a bit, maybe a bit more, close the lenses, because we move on to the assembly manual. So here it is, and it is printed in a typical, I would say, Miniart style. So you can see it's a color printed brochure with a short list of the features on the cover. Next, we proceed with two marking options. So you saw the profiles on the box. This marking option was on the box art, and I would say they were relatively easy. It's more of a, I would say it will depend on the weathering you will replicate, because as you can see, some dust and dirt, they will help to break the unified look of the monocolor camouflages. Next, we continue with the parts map. So there are no marking present on which parts are not used, so be careful and pay attention on which elements you install here and there. Of course, you will have to decide whether you would like to open this or that hatch. So here we start with decisions straight away on the first steps, but as you can see, the overall assembly of the house should be quite an easy thing, and that's, as I said before, that's more of a matter of the tracking the overall alignment between these panels, because the real tank is quite tricky in its design, so that's why model is also a bit tricky, but I think it's not a huge challenge for experienced modelers. Here we continue with towing cable. So as far as you can see, you should find your own with a 145mm length. Unfortunately, there is no thickness mentioned, so you have to get the right thickness while combining it with the loops. Next, we proceed with more parts here and there. So, by the way, this is not a track jig, or it is. Just give me a second. So it's part number 2. No, it is not. So I guess we will see the track jig further in the video review, because here we start working on the drivetrain wheels, and note that they will have to be combined with PE parts. Even the headlight protection is assembled out of PE parts. Now that's the tricky stuff. Next, there in the corner you can see the assembly jig for the tracks, so that's quite a cool thing to have, and it will speed up the I would say a bit monotonous process. Here we continue with the turret. So again, you get an option to open some hatches. Do not forget about it, maybe it will be handy for you. And in total we have to perform 63 steps, and here we have two marking options depicted in this black and white view. We also have colors chart, which is given in several manufacturer designations. Here we have separate marking guide for figures, some other kits in the same topic. We reviewed them also, you can find it easily on our YouTube channel, and of course two more kits which were also reviewed on our YouTube channel in the video review, and as well as article with photos. As for today's kit, it should be already available, so if you would like to get it, you can buy it, for example, in Modelimex's website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!